All right, welcome into episode 11, 330 Club Pod. And this is a really cool one for me because people are going to find out there's not just one mill. And they're probably like, God damn it. But I got my very long time friend, Milan Martich. What's going on, my man?
What's up, Mel? Thanks for having me, brother.
Dude, I'm happy you're here. I always talk about how I met people on the show, but like I've known you since before I had consciousness, I think.
I don't think we ever met. I think it was just more like we became one. It's like, oh,
Right?
hey, there's more pieces of this puzzle.
Yeah, you cannot we can't be like introduced, only understood.
Exactly.
So there's not like a big backstory besides our dads, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah, that's
And this
of
is
course.
kind of adjacent to the Mircea episode.
Yeah, yeah. It's good that I'm the third best golfer on the program. So
Oh, dude. Yeah, you think Adam Maximovich texted me the other day. He's like, "Hey, you, me, and Dan, we're gonna go Broncos Pizza, the Tarilo's place. They put one in a bar where there's a like some simulators. He's like, let's go hit some golf
oh,
balls.
nice.
And I'm just like, shit, I haven't hit the sim all winter.
I know, me neither.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's good. It's good. I'm not going to midwinter either this year. So
No, you know,
I'm not.
last year was like I didn't go. Everyone said it was cold.
I didn't go last year either.
Was it
Now that I
San
think about
Diego
it,
last year?
I think yeah, San Diego or Phoenix. Yeah, do like West Coast, East
Yeah,
Coast
and
type of
like,
deal.
cause Grubbs was like in a vest and long sleeves, and I'm like, dude, aren't you in San Diego?
I think that was 2 years
Two,
ago.
maybe
We
it was
were,
two.
yeah, because I played with him and Adam.
You
Just
were,
Georgie and I, Adam and Nikki, and dude, it was
yeah.
brutal.
Maybe I talked to your brother about that. I talked to somebody, and everyone was like, it was
Yeah,
fucking cold.
it was, it was awful. It
I mean,
was like hitting into like 30-mile-an-hour winds and stuff. It was crap.
jeez. Yeah, well, either way, I'm gonna be pretty brutal when I hit the simulator, but that's okay because I'm brutal on the golf course.
Hey, I mean, you won't lose balls this way.
Yeah, that's true. I'll
You
be
know?
losing balls this spring or summer when I'm up with you at the country club in Virton.
Oh, everything comes back to the center of the universe here. Here
Yeah,
in Midland, PA.
Midland. You know, it's
Midland.
funny. The Pitt Syracuse games on TV, and they're talking about some kid from Midland. And I literally was like, center of the universe.
Everything comes back. I was there 2 weeks ago.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. So it's funny too because I don't, I have a variety of people who I'm very grateful, by the way, for everybody who listens to the show, but we're probably going to mention stuff that some people are going to love and other people are going to be like, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, I'll do my best not to spread any
No.
misinformation.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't think there's a lot of misinformation when it comes to Midland. Again,
Yeah,
can't be
no,
explained, only understood.
yeah. I mean, it's something. It's its own creature.
Oh man. Hey, so when you're golfing though, you guys have a lot of hills and shit. Obviously,
Yeah,
the whole Pittsburgh, what like the area of West Virginia you're in is very close to Pittsburgh for people who don't know. So it's the same kind of like landscape. Um,
yeah. I could probably get to downtown Pittsburgh closer than most people that live in Pittsburgh,
I know, yeah, I know where your exit is.
or quicker. Yeah.
I don't want to go the other way though. You got to be careful out there. But I know, but that's got to be hard to golf though in the hills and stuff.
I mean, it is,
Maybe you're
but
used to it. I don't know.
yeah, you do kind of get used to it because you come out to Indiana with you guys and everything's flat and you feel like you can hit the ball 100 more yards because you're not ping ponging it off of everything. And
No.
I don't know, it's just you kind of get used to it. I think maybe it's like you weather the storm a little bit to become a better golfer because you got to have the ball at your feet and then above your hands and all that stuff all the time.
I've been trying to become a better golfer for 25 years, so
Yeah, I hear you, man.
but yeah, it's flat here. We have some courses that have some nice, the layout's nice. There's some water and stuff, so you got to be careful. But
Yeah,
it's more just dog leg shit. You don't have to worry about up and down.
when this past golf tournament we were playing and there's a kid that was from Chicago playing with us
Oh,
and we were just playing a course and it was in Cleveland. Or in sorry, where was it? In Akron. And we were playing and the he's riding with me and he looks around and he goes, these like the mountains? I feel like we're in the mountains right now. That's so laughing. So like, brother, you have no idea what the mountains
yeah,
are. These are
yeah.
just little hills.
I
We're
know.
not even, you're not even close. So they go down about 2 hours back down here to good old weird West Virginia, and you
You-
start seeing them.
Head towards Monaca and you'll start seeing mountains. Not in Akron, you know.
Mhm.
You really don't get that until you get out of Ohio into Pennsylvania. Then you start
Yeah,
to see it. Ohio's kind of whatever.
yeah.
So,
That's the best way to describe it. Whatever.
I mean, I'm trying to find some sales right now. I need some wedges before the season starts. And all the new shit just came out. So I'm like, good, let's get something on sale.
Dude, out of season sales, the best golf galaxy.
Oh my God. I mean, I know that's all I look at, but sometimes it's weird. Like you'll get it right when the season ends, and sometimes it's around now because all the new shit filters in.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bunch of
Yeah.
new drivers that are $600 and look like bowling balls.
Yep, and then you're still gonna shank into the woods anyways.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna hit the ball any farther.
Yeah, I need to get a new set of irons. I've been demoing my brother's. He has some nice TaylorMades, but you know he's a tata now, so he doesn't get to play as much.
Yeah, my dad told me the story about that where the day I was born, he had a nice tea time, you know, late September, 80 degrees, and sorry, I ruined it.
It was the first of many disappointments.
Yeah. Yeah, I came in with like a high bar. I had to keep raising it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
This is the floor.
I mean, it's funny though. There's a picture when I was showing you pictures before we started from like I guess they're 19 years ago now, 06. It was the end of the
Yeah.
year, so 18 years. But there's one
Yeah.
of like me and Georgie, and he's got this look on his face like some adult just came in the room to take a picture. Like, good thing we didn't get caught doing whatever we were about to do.
That was the default look for about the first 15 years of his life.
Maybe longer. We had some. I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
one time I came up and I went to a Pens matinee game, like right as I got into Pittsburgh, and I'm not even in Pittsburgh for long. I'm heading into the game, and he's calling me, and I'm like, I'm trying to find. I think it was the first time I ever went to the new building. It's not new
Yeah.
now, but you know, this is
Yeah,
12 years ago or something like that.
about that.
And I'm like, I can't even get to the turnstile, and Georgie's ringing me up. Why didn't you bring me? I'm like, sorry, I didn't have time to turn around and come pick you up. My bad.
Yeah. That's ungrateful.
No. That's one way to put it. Oh my God. He's so funny. No, we had a lot of great times back in the day though.
Dude, it's always fun. I mean, it still is now. We all get together.
I know I was saying I told my brother, I said the only thing I'd rather be doing than this is doing it with you.
Shout out Steve. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, I'm sure he'll hear this tomorrow. But I told him the only thing better than this is if you and I were doing it at my Kum Radar's bar.
Dude, I mean, like if we get our tatas together, and here's the part of the podcast where people don't understand the gravity of the situation here.
Geez.
The three of our dads together is like, pardon my language, an FBI informant's wet dream. Like the shit that those three know.
Oh my God. It is. No, it's like
What?
it's
I mean,
unbelievable.
It's fun to just sit there and listen to the three of them, because they're literally like the Three Stooges and just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Oh, the best was I think it was my birthday when I came up, and we both just parked our ass at the bar with a plate of food and a beer, and just we went to town and listened to them.
Yeah, those are the best times, just reminiscing like that and hanging out and grubbing.
I want to come by when you guys do a lamb.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of them.
You guys do a lot of stuff, actually. I've been like every time you post, I'm like my mouth's watering because
a
couple of years ago, my doctor was like, "Look, like I have this like shoulder and neck thing with the muscles. Like, look, you got to get the protein. Just eat basically like almost like carnivore, but I still eat vegetables and fruit." And so I'm like, all right, so I just eat steaks. Fine, I have no problem with that. But then you're posting all this stuff, and I'm like, God, like I need to get up there.
Because I mean, well, we do it down at our men's club every Wednesday. We do like I think we averaged last year like something around like 410 chickens every Wednesday.
Holy shit!
Fire
it's like a Costco down there.
It really is, man. Yeah, and we do that, and like like our men's club stays active. We have really cool picnic grounds down here, and we did what? I think we did 48 turkeys for people this Thanksgiving. Did like 9 pigs. I think in our church picnic we usually do about 30 lambs.
Dude,
There's about 250 chickens.
There's got to be an art to that, though.
I think so. I mean, I learned a long time ago from my dad that I was like the only grandchild that was allowed to stay at home on the major holidays and help them down back roasting the lamb and everything. So that's kind of I've taken to it my whole life. And I mean, you see like when I post stuff,
Oh
we're
yeah,
always down back at my parents' house. I mean, my dad has a big loud one down there, and he recently upgraded to a full meat saw, like a bandsaw.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, we just like it. It's just it's fun just hanging out. Like, cause even on a Sunday, like after church, he'll come home, he'll throw a pork shoulder on there, sit out
Oh,
back, listen to Tumbler, have a couple stoves, couple icy lights, and we're all good.
dude, that's my dream right there.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah. My touch is living the dream.
You got a head start on that though, because most of us like we don't really like. I went to church on Christmas, and in our grounds in the back, you can go pick up lamb and pig and whatever,
Mhm.
just order ahead. So I went back there and picked it up, and Chica Pete Grubbs is back there with the stogie, like normal, like
Oh
okay.
yeah.
But then Nikki Grubbs comes right behind them, like, oh, we are old, man. You're
Mhm.
back here now.
Yeah, man. I mean, cause we got a whole like shift around in the priest thing a couple years ago, and Father Iko Kosich from Holy Trinity came down. He's our priest out now in Steubenville, and
The
yeah,
man.
he is the man. But his son Steban, and I think you probably know
Oh,
Steban. Yeah, he's one of my best friends, and he and I, and there's another kid Ben, who's he's probably 30 by now. The three of us are the only guys like under 50 that really help out the men's club, and we kind of trying to recruit people and keep it going. And there's a couple good old boys, good old weird boys that are showing interest. And,
yeah. When I move to Pennsylvania, I'll come join you.
dude, welcome anytime, brother. You know that.
I love that. That's I'll just side note, unbeknownst to many, I have a deep connection with the clergy in the area
Yeah.
due to my grandfather. My dad though was the priest at Holy Trinity, but also before they built that church, he was at St. George in Southside.
Yeah.
So I mean, he basically came here from Aria and was like, I'm in Pittsburgh. Like that was it.
Oh,
And he's like, I'm gonna do like liturgy on Sundays. I'm gonna go to the Buccos games, and I'm like that's a play golf.
I mean, what more can you ask for?
Nothing really. Well, I think what happened was
Well, maybe the Buccos to do something a little bit
well
better than
he went
that,
to
but
he saw
he
him
got
win
to
three
see
World
everything.
Series.
Oh, I'll say, yeah, you got to see the prime.
My aunt was being born, and there was no fathers allowed in the waiting room back then, so he went to Game 7 where Mazeroski hit the walk off against the
No way.
Yankees. Yeah.
Oh my
And my
god.
Bubba was like, "Where the hell have you been?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, there's traffic. They're out there partying in Oakland."
That would have been insane. Dude,
Game,
I mean, game 7 for the Pirates. Like you remember the Cueto game?
oh yeah,
That's one of the best. That's one of the best moments in my lifetime for Pittsburgh sport. I'm not even a Steeler fan, but that's like my biggest Pittsburgh moment
we're
besides
we're
times
gonna
winning the
get
cups.
into
But
that.
yeah, we can't.
No, I just have a couple questions, but
Nah. But yeah, man, it was like that Cueto game and the lack of any enthusiasm by Nutting and all those clowns in the front office.
they're
Could have
brutal.
capitalized on that, and that could have been part of something big in Pittsburgh. But again, just the hillbilly prince wants his money.
And also, baseball is kind of like that now. With a lot, like, even though the Pirates are, the leading example, there's about 4 teams that spend money, and everybody else is like, "Fuck it," you know.
Dude, I saw something the other day that since Notting's owned the Pirates, they haven't cracked the top 20 in payroll.
So bad.
It's awful, man. There needs to be a salary floor in baseball, not just a cap.
I agree. And the thing with, well, there is really no cap, but
Mm-mm.
like I agree with you. But like the Cueto game's a great example of if the Pirates are good and people are like people will be excited and they will pack that ballpark.
Man.
It's the best ballpark I've ever been to.
Oh, I mean, I think it might be the only ballpark I've ever been to, so I can't say, but I'm going to be extremely biased and say it is the best ballpark.
Don't get me wrong, like it's cool the old parks like Wrigley, I grew up going there a lot and stuff. It's a cool like old school. It feels like a soccer pitch. That's probably why. But
Yeah.
but that's just because that's the closest thing we have to like an old like a Prem, stadium because there's no more old parks besides that in Fenway. But regardless of that, it's like, there's other ballparks I've been to. I'm like, oh, this is nice, but PNC's the best.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what, like, when I go there now, since I'm as an adult and I could buy my own tickets, I always
I
sit
think a
third
kid could
baseline.
afford tickets though
That's true, yeah. Actually, yeah. Lemonade stand will get you season tickets.
or a Paul Skeens
Yeah.
rookie card.
Dude. that kid was smart to turn down that deal.
But
I mean,
no, I'm sorry. What were you saying though about going to
no,
the
I'm just saying
ballpark?
it's like no matter. I don't really care who like who they play or anything. Anytime we go to the ballpark, I have to sit third baseline,
That's where I
and
sit
then
too.
you see the best view of the city. You see everything right there, and you could zip in, zip out. The Pittsburgh Baseball Club's right up one of the rotundas. It's really easy to get up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a beautiful view. Walking the
Hmm.
bridge before and after is cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously for me, it's like not as like it's not like a touristy thing, but it's also like I don't get to do it all summer,
right.
so it's
No, yeah, it's still a treat. I mean, shit, even for me living half an hour away from the stadium, like even going to any game,
yeah,
it's just like you're a kid again. It's fun.
yeah. Baseball has that feeling, I think, more than anything,
Hmm.
because I think
Yeah,
hockey is so like once the game starts, I'm just like I don't even really talk. My eyes are just locked in,
right.
and you know how
Yeah.
that goes. And you're like you and I are kind of the weird like we grew up liking you because you like soccer a lot too. So like you know how to watch hockey.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's not like you're there, jacking around and waiting for
Hmm.
bullshit to happen.
Yeah. Last year for Christmas, I got Georgie and I tickets that we played Vancouver, and I never got to see the Canucks play. And I wanted to get a West Coast team, and I bought tickets. First time I ever sat behind the net where the Pens shoot twice,
Oh,
and it
nice.
was probably I want to say 9 rows up. So we were like almost even with the crossbar,
Okay.
the cross, and we were kind of like just like like a section up of that, and that was awesome. Just seeing all the line changes and seeing everything
Seeing
how the
develop
plays
coming
develop.
towards
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
I know
Yeah,
it.
and it's funny because Georgie and I got on the jumbotron like during the game, just like a little picture, and so that was the game.
I
They were
remember the
tied.
game because I messaged you guys afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, and so they were Pens were down 3-2 with like a minute and a half left, and I told Georgie I was like, dude, I'm gonna piss my pants because he was driving. I bought the tickets, so I had
The big
my
icy
fair share,
lights.
my fair share of ices, and I was like, dude, I'm literally gonna piss my pants. So I ran up, and our seats were right, you're like kind of like by a bathroom. So I ran up, peed, turned around, and the puck was in play. So the usher stopped me,
Oh,
and I was like, no way. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So I'm like, well, we're best friends now. I'm watching the rest of the game with you. They scored, tied it up, 3-3. And I get to go back down. Little do we know, as soon as they score that goal, the camera pans right to where Georgie and I would have been sitting, and it's just like
oh,
him high fiving people. It would have
like
been like it would have been like the ultimate like brother moment.
just like he's
just,
high fiving random people in your
just
section.
people around him, just going around. And
Oh
it's
my god,
just,
is it?
there's a Milan-sized hole right there.
Oh, dude, brutal.
Yeah,
It's so funny though, like how because I've done that a million times where like there's a big goal and then you're just like high fiving whoever the fuck.
hmm
I remember I was there and some guy was just like, I started talking to him about Phil Kessel and he's like, typical. You think he's a yinzer? I saw him down at the vet. He had sweatpants on and a dirty Buccos cap. And I'm like, all right, now this guy's my homie for the rest of the night.
yeah.
Or the lady who was running the beer, she was like a cart right out our section with the 24-ounce icy lights. She became good friends with me that night.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm sure.
It's funny that you say that though, because I saw them play the Canucks, and I think it was the game where Georgie was calling me while I was like the first period was starting. It was Tortorella was the coach though. That's how long ago it was,
Dang.
and they won in
Been
a
like
shootout.
5 teams since then.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Gino scored and won it in a shootout, and it was Oli Mato's first goal. That tells you how long ago it was. I remember that game.
That's a long time. I was watching the Four Nations and I thought he was playing for Finland.
Fuck, who
Um,
knows? He kind of fell off the
yeah,
face of the earth.
he did. That's why I was like, wait, Oli Mata's still playing hockey?
Yeah. The
Also,
thing with that is these guys play until they can't move and they become tomato cans and they don't if they don't send them down to the AAA then they're just like or to the A rather. Sorry, baseball, hockey. But if they don't send them down to the AHL then these guys either go back to Europe or they're like whatever, like I'll just stay here.
yeah, yeah, it's like soccer players come to the MLS when they decide they want the bag and they don't really want to try hard anymore.
Oh, that's yeah, why not though?
I'm not knocking it.
Um
Yeah,
the funniest thing is the last 2 years Yager played for Florida. I went to see him because I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna see him again because I thought he was like 47 years old or something. And he scored a goal. It was in Chicago. And then they came back the next year and he was still playing. I'm like, I'm gonna go again. He scored in that game too.
Did you get to see the traveling Yoggers?
I did not. I think
No.
was he in Florida after Calgary or before? It might have been right before.
I don't know.
I don't know if they came or not. Cause they used to be in Canada all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always show them on or what's it called? NHL NHL Network. Yeah, but
NHL Network.
TSN highlights.
Yeah.
I used to watch like NHL Tonight every night to go to bed. Just because they would just loop it, and I'm like, well, Jackie Redmond's on TV, so fine.
Yeah. I'll listen.
Yeah.
Her sweet dulcet tones and rock me to sleep.
Absolutely. If not, some shitty hockey game will.
Yeah.
That's so crazy though. Like I remember that game, but I didn't know that you weren't down at your seat for that.
Yeah, I mean, because we got home and Archie told me that I was so pissed.
Oh my god, that's so it's funny in retrospect, but
oh yeah,
oh man, dude, there's a lot of weird moments like that at hockey games, but I think it's just because there's a lot of Jags who go to hockey games that don't know what the hell's going on. Like you just had one too many irons and broke the seal. That happens.
Yeah, and plus we were behind the goal, so the net was up.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
sure there'll be another time.
It's the problem is there's people who will abuse going up and down when the puck's in play, and they get tired of yelling at people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that either. Like if I want a hockey game, I'm sitting my ass in my chair.
Oh yeah, me too.
Getting up in between periods, and that's it. I'm not messing around.
I think the problem is you go to anything else. It could be like another sport. It can be like a concert. It could be whatever. I see it at like wrestling shows. Like people just get up when they please, and I'm like, don't you want to watch what you paid to watch?
So I have a perfect example of that. We went, Georgie and I and our buddy went to see Shane Gillis.
That was a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, about a month ago, and that was the first time I've ever been to an arena show. I've gone to the Improv in Homestead a bunch, like the Benedum, seeing guys, and that's always fun. This is probably the last time I'll go to an arena show, man. Like,
yeah,
there's two ladies behind George that were talking at conversational volume the entire time to each other. Like literally just like they came to the show to have a drink and talk. And then the guy behind me was hammered. He kept dropping his half full beer can. And then halfway through the show, he decides to have a whisper scream argument with his wife on the phone.
On the phone,
on speakerphone. Just whisper screaming.
Christ.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I can't knock the show. I mean, Shane and the guys that were opening were hysterical.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that it's not the product that you went to see. It's the
experience.
The environment. Yeah,
yeah. Experiencing the environment was brutal, man.
I haven't gone to a lot of live stand up, but I like it a lot. That's like my dream job. I just wish I had more jokes. But just because
get on Kill Tony, take your shot.
Netflix and Mill is my first special. But I would also want to do one called Smoking Indoors, about bringing it back. Even though I don't smoke, it'd just be funny to bring back smoking indoors. Very, old school Serbs would be so happy.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't smoke cigarettes. I'd never have. And
right.
I am a big proponent of smoking in bars.
Yeah.
You just have to have cigarettes in bars. Like it makes a difference.
Well, one of my jokes would have been, if you bring back smoking in bars, then the girls that would be in the bars, I could afford to buy their drinks. Because you have all these these girls coming in, like, because there's no smoking, and they're the, the joke is really bad, and it's just a joke. But
no, it is funny. Like, you want a girl that's drinking like Vladdy and soda, not an espresso martini.
Well, the punchline to the joke, and it was really just a joke, but it was, these are the girls who are the straight white girls who are going to the like parades for the like LGBT stuff, but you can't buy them a Bud Light at the bar. That's the, again, It's just a punchline to a joke. I don't want anybody to get offended. Instead you got these Erykah Badu type bitches, drinking $9 vodka waters or whatever. Forgot it. You gotta have smoking indoors, and just in bars, not in your house, No,
like, I don't think we need to bring it back like in hospitals and airplanes.
Dude, airplanes, I said to somebody, that would be fucking off. I don't like flying as it is.
Well, look at the news recently then.
I know it's crazy. Um, I'll say this because like I cut my hair off, but multiple times I want to ask you about this. When you have your hair down, if you go into a bar where like I used to go shoot pool after work before the crowds would
Mhm.
come, and people would be smoking there, and I'd go home, it'd be like 1 or 2 a.m. and my hair smells. I'd have to wash it.
Yeah, I mean, I have mine pulled up a lot. Like I have like the man bun a lot of the times, but yeah, it smelled like for me the example would be like roasted meat.
Oh yeah.
That
Well,
smoke that smoke sticks on you like cigarette smoke.
but and that can be annoying, but that's better than like a bunch of stale.
Oh yeah, the smell is way better.
It's just funny because like I would go out and a couple guys like I know would be like, oh, let's go, like, we'll go shoot pool for whatever, and then the crowd comes and you get the hell out of there, and I'm like, why do I smell like smoke? And it's in your hair.
Yeah, it's a bad thing, but I think I'll take the smell if I could enjoy people smoking cigarettes around.
Yeah, honestly. Oh my God, that's so funny. But yeah, that's like the thing for me for stand up though. I haven't gone to a lot. I saw Jerry Seinfeld, which was cool,
Yeah,
but just because he's like an
class.
all time act.
Hmm.
But that was at Chicago Theater, which is a much more intimate venue.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the United Center or something where there's 20,000 people and like you said, some
Hmm.
guy's not having an argument with his wife on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, because well, I don't. Next time you come down, we'll see who's at the Pittsburgh Improv. But it's very intimate too. I've been there a few times. I was there
Yeah.
this year. I saw Steve Byrne there a couple months
Oh,
ago,
nice.
and it was way better. I mean, the comedy was Shane's set and material and everything was funnier, but just the setting and everything for Steve Byrne was a lot better.
Yeah, that's just how you made it when you're packing that many people.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's for sure. I mean, that's because I don't know if you know the co-host like the Shane's podcast, Matt McCusker, or Matt and Shane
Yeah,
Secret
yeah, yeah. I've
Podcast.
seen the
Yeah,
podcast.
so yeah, so Georgie and I went and saw Matt at the Pittsburgh Improv last year around this time, and then he opened for Shane at the arena a month ago. So it was really cool seeing like that kind of
I love
progression
getting
too.
like a clip in your feed of them, just like no context,
Yeah,
and it's just like the funniest thing you've heard, even though you don't even know where they started.
yeah, yeah. I'm a pretty devout watcher and listener to their stuff.
I like I got to be better about I'll clip this up tomorrow when I post it, but I got to be better about putting those clips in feeds so people will find the show because like it does
Yeah,
help. It's funny how like I can bust out a clip of somebody like an eye on a pod and just throw it in there and right away it racks up a bunch of views because the algorithm likes that.
yeah,
I
like
hate
the
having to play
short
that
form
game,
stuff.
but
Yeah, well, hey, until you get like you said, until you get that Rogan money, you gotta
oh,
kind of
then
do what you need to do.
we're going on tour. It's gonna be an icy light sponsored bus.
You can make an exact set replica of Chica Raid's bar.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be
That would be
awesome.
perfect.
Oh, that'd be awesome. There'd be like Tumblr music playing and stuff.
Yeah, you could hire Lyra as the house band.
Oh God. And then you get a random disco track for set change.
Well, you know me and my Tata will cook in the background too. You can just like see an Ajahn spinning in the back of the
People would be
window.
like, how the hell did we let this guy do this? Oh my God. That's, if for the big money, I would just want to put a golf simulator in my house.
Yeah.
Cause like I used to want to move somewhere warm, but like between like everything in California plus the fires and then like Florida's got all these hurricanes and I'm like, I don't even know if it's worth it.
That's
Maybe.
why I always said if I moved anywhere like warm and stuff like that would be Phoenix.
Yeah.
Just being out there for like the midwinters and stuff, man, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it might even be a thing where I would live there just during the winter,
Yeah.
you know? Because I'm okay on the 90, 100-degree summers. Like, I'm good on that.
It doesn't bother me.
I mean, I'm
Right
not,
now I think it's like 7 degrees outside here, so I'll take that right now. I'll
that's exactly how
take
it's like
40.
here. We
Yeah.
have, I'm just trying to see what it says on my phone. Because it was -3 when I got up today. 7 here, too. Yeah, we have the same,
Okay.
we have like a couple inches of snow, but nothing crazy.
Hmm.
And then it's like brutally cold and I'm not a big complainer about the weather one way or the other, but I'm not a fan of this cold.
Yeah, it's like the bone chilling cold is dumb.
The only thing I like about it is when you're watching hockey somewhere that's cold like that, the ice isn't shitty, usually. unless
Yeah.
it's a bad rink.
Yeah.
Because when you watch playoff hockey and it's hot outside somewhere,
Yeah. Like when Penn's played the Sharks,
oh yeah. I
that
mean,
series, oh, it was pretty bad.
everyone was losing their edge left and right, and just like,
Mm-hmm.
but San Jose too, man, that was a good series. I knew the Pens had it, but that was a good, like, I was excited to see them play like a team like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and then the Nashville one was pretty good too. But I knew they had that one too. Game two, going into game two, I bought a Stanley Cup Crosby jersey.
That's brave. I wouldn't have taken that
I,
step.
I told my brother they're winning in white. I'm getting the 50th patch, and I got the whole nine.
I think the Nashville series was a lot more physical than the San Jose. Like San
Yeah,
Jose was more like more finesse and stuff, and
more
then
speed.
more finesse, more speed, and then Nashville was HBK line, just
Oh yeah.
running people down.
Well, that Sharks team too, just as an opponent, they had young, like they had some older veterans, but they had like Hurdle was young and moving good, and some of those
Logan
guys.
Couture.
Couture could still move, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nashville was like that was that PK Subban team. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean and I love PK was a great player. But
Yeah.
man, what he beats he was belt to ass every night.
Oh, dude, his drive was insane.
So that was man, that was an interesting Penguins team though. Carl, good to see you is what I used to say all the time. Actually, I got this hat at a game.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot I was wearing a Pens hat. I bought it. I forget which game. I bought when they were doing the Carhartt stuff. I couldn't pass it up.
Mm. That's cool.
I almost bought a Dumoulin jersey too at the game, but I passed on that. I don't know why I was thinking about that.
Good decision.
Yeah, I just kind of go 87 or
I'm still looking for a white Casparitis gin and juice jersey.
dude. I have the gin and juice jersey, and I have the Robo Penguin like the gradient, but neither of them are lettered yet.
I have the Lemieux RoboPen.
That's yeah. So I
Yeah,
joke.
Georgie and I, and then our two neighbors, Louie and Ross, the four of us, our parents bought us those jerseys because we all had summer birthdays, and they bought us the jerseys for our birthday one year. And somewhere on VHS, there is the old NHL warm up music, and the four of us come skating out of the garage
Oh my
for the
gosh,
game. Dude, I wish I could find it.
that's
We were
so
the Vista Drive Penguins.
that's, that's so perfect.
Yeah.
That jersey is amazing too because it's such a '90s ass jersey with the like
Mhm.
gradient.
I remember
fade.
I had a blue metal Easton stick. That's the composite or
Oh,
the two piece. I mean,
oh, jeez.
yeah, I can picture that thing with the Sackett curve.
Oh man, well there you go. You just wrist them like, dude. I loved Joe Sakic so much.
That Avs team was really cool because I got into hockey right around the Avs team, and then like
Like the
the 02
2001 team.
2001 Avs,
Yep.
yeah, that team, and like the 2002 Pens when they had like Ian Moran, Bob Bugner, those guys, like
Oh,
Robert Lang, Marty Straka, Kovalo. I could name
Lang
that
was
whole
still
team.
good then too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a weird time because it was like Lemieux had come back a couple years after, like before, like midway in 2000 or whatever. But he
Yeah, we were at a Lemieux return game.
against the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
There's a big panoramic picture in my parents' basement too, because just another weird, like you said, like weird hockey things that happened. So Georgie and I we were wrestling in little theater. Was it? I can't remember, Little Rough Riders wrestling, and we won like the tickets for the Pens game. It just so happened to be that game,
That's
and
crazy.
my mom always like, just like your mom, liked to match us when we were little,
Yeah.
and so Georgie and I had these like lime green Gap rain jackets on, and I remember because we sat right by the tunnel because I wanted to see my man Kasparaitis, and there's a panoramic picture. You could see two little shits with the
Oh
green
my
jackets on right
god.
by the tunnel. Yeah, it's in my parents' basement.
It's good in retrospect because you stand out.
So we didn't know that like we didn't expect that was gonna like we were ever gonna see that. We were on vacation in Myrtle Beach after dinner on the boardwalk, and we were walking. We were being heathens. My mom's trying to do some nice shopping, and we go to this gallery store or something, and I see
Like the frame photos and
like the
stuff.
frame photos. Yeah, like, and I see
Yeah.
this game, and I said, "Oh my gosh!" So we were there. So let's find us. So we found us, and we bought the picture.
Dude, this is why the universe is so weird when you think of stuff like this.
I know.
In you and I will do that on a different episode, but like the world as you know it really ceased to exist when you start going into shit like that.
It's crazy, man.
Also, the funny thing is, what I think that was 2000, right?
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, when you're a little kid in 2000, you're not wearing 2000s fashion. You're wearing like the worst shit that came out in like 1998.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
that's why,
I mean,
because my brother and I have
whatever
pictures.
Gap came out with.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like there's pictures of like Steve and I like at Kennywood with like my mom would put us in matching outfits, and I'm like, why? Like, you're like 9 or 10 years old, and you're like, I'm over this.
Do you and Steve still like subconsciously dress the same?
Oh yeah,
Georgie and I do it all the time.
we get made fun of. There's a picture of us. We went to see the Smashing Pumpkins at the United Center, and we're wearing like the same Nike shoes but in different colors, jeans, a black T-shirt, and like a similar hat, and we didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And someone was busting my balls the next day, and I'm like, dude, I
just do it. Yeah, like Georgie and I haven't lived together for a long time, like almost 10 years. And this year for Christmas, he picked me up, and I walk out. He's in his car. He has a white long sleeve shirt, black vest, and jeans on. I look down, jeans, like fucking shirt. I was like, I'll right back. I'm gonna go change.
It happens to me all the time. It literally happened to me the other day. My brother and I went somewhere and we had like the same hoodie on. And I'm like, how did this happen?
You just only think about it.
But I think
thank our mamas for that one.
That, and also too, like when you're close with your brother, which I'm very grateful for.
Absolutely,
it kind of becomes ingrained in your brain, like when you do similar things. But it's so funny because we're not the same person. You know, you and George are kind of similar with us because like the age gap is similar.
Yeah.
And like, you're close, but it's not like we're twins and you're not like, you're different. You're your own people, but then there's shit you do and you're like, how are we doing the same thing?
I know.
That's so funny that you bring that up because I think about that all the time.
Yeah,
the only
really
difference
crazy.
is I wear a lot of snapbacks and just curve the bill. And my brother wears like the dad hat with the strap because I have the wider head and he's got like the narrow.
See, that's the opposite for me and Georgie. I wear all like the rope hats and everything, and Georgie likes the sleek front.
I like the
Nike hat.
I like the golf hat with a softer front. But like I just needed a little wider, and sometimes those hats I don't want to look like I'm Serbian, but my head's not that big.
I got a pretty big dome. We're not shout out Mircea. We're not quite as big as his head, but
yeah,
I got a pretty big dome. We share a lot of hats.
Cool Radar did him in with that one. I'm just kidding, Cool. But in all seriousness, like it's so funny because my dad has a really small head. Mine's not as small as his, but like I would like try to wear his hats when I like grew into like you stop growing, and I'm like we don't like I could wear your t-shirts and like say you're like large extra whatever, and maybe this I wasn't like wearing his shoes and but like if you take I have a Quip sweatshirt I stole from him, stuff cool.
That.
Hell yeah, it's literally a crew neck from the late 90s. It's like a big red. It says Quips.
That's awesome.
It's sick.
That's really cool.
So that's the type of shit that I would take from it. Or I have an Iron City beer shirt from way back, like probably the 80s or something. It's the old logo, But then I'm like I found like he actually had a RoboPen logo, like a snapback from whenever that was the logo. So it must have been like right after they won the second cup and changed the look.
Yeah, I think so.
It was like 93, 94, something like that.
So yeah, I think. Was that after Lemieux retired?
So like they went to it was the Gin and Juice dark road jersey and the home white was the Robo Penguin. They went to that in 93 after they won back to back. They were supposed to have 4 jerseys, and it was basically the reverse retros that they made were from that set.
Oh, okay.
And then the league back then was like, nah, you can only have 2 jerseys, so they just did one of each logo, I guess. But it's funny now because every team has 1 million jerseys.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, that was my jersey nerd shit. But my dad had this hat. I'm like, oh, this is sweet. And I'm like, why is this so small? So that's just
Molly Glauber.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna start calling him that. But oh no, you gotta be careful with that one.
Yeah.
Don't repeat that, children. Holy hell. That's gonna be the name of our band we start.
Molly Glauber.
Yeah, our first single is gonna be Sramta Bilo, followed by Ostavito. Uh,
Totally.
somebody's gonna hear this and go like, "What the hell?" But that's for the Patreon episode.
Yeah.
The subtitles. Oh my god, it's a tumbler band too to make it better. My Bubba would kick my ass. I'm out there playing accordion, like
she's got the guest vocals on Santa Vila.
yeah, right.
Hey, just start looping that.
You're like up there and you're like, this next song, Igre malo ostavito. And then you hear people start whistling in the background. It's like a Serb Fest set.
We would have a very specific crowd.
Yeah, it would be like the Serb Fest after hours crowd. Oh man, the cigarette smokers.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Smoking indoors.
Well, it's on my dad used to say Pichkin Dim. Oh god. Okay, maybe we should move off of that.
Let's not get too far down that round.
So we're gonna turn into those guys who go to the SNF tournaments and like golf is one thing, but when you go to basketball, it's like nobody can play basketball anymore. But we're gonna be in the whoever is in the parking lot that has a bar in their trunk of their truck.
Yes, for sure.
Like I was telling my brother, I found this picture of my dad and like all the dads from the team who weren't coaches, and they're like, it was I don't remember what year, but it was in Indiana, I think. And someone had converted their van into a bar because where the courts were not by the hall. And so, like,
that's a key logistical failure right there.
It is, trust me. But the funny thing is that they were prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see
a contingency plan.
Yeah, well, like
this is. I know we're dumbing it down to just basketball tournaments and us drinking in the parking lot, but this is such high level stuff that people really don't understand.
No, this is like you're educated on this. Like, I think when you're around like 13 or 14 and you don't look like a midget standing at Coom's bar, you have to sit there and like learn. But even I was like 5, like before they put that bar in, I remember being like downstairs and I was like pouring drafts. My dad used to have a keg in the back garage and I learned how to pour drafts when I was old enough to walk, you know?
That's key skill.
So like I would be at some place, I think I was at somebody's grad party or something, and I was young and I poured like a really nice beer, and some old guy's like, how do you know how to do that? You're not even like in college yet. And I was like, come on, man. Like, yeah. Like, you think if I fucked up a pour like that, my dad it would be belt to ass. Like, come on.
He would have poured it on me and said, do another one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he would have wasted a beer, but
that's sure, yeah.
But you're gonna drink this one. That's like
yeah.
Now that foamy head on top, that's yours. But no, it's funny, like it is like we're not dumbing it down, like you said, like, or we are, but it's not all it is. But it's so funny because like my dad used to keep what he called the rescue bottle in the back of his. He had one in the golf bag and one in the back of the car.
Yeah,
and it would just be some homemade, you know.
It must be a priest thing because I
think so.
But
yeah, I think that's a clergyman.
I don't know one of the bus here, but
that's a clergy special. Yeah. It's along with getting as many mulligans as you want. But I have stories about. Oh man, I played in some golf tournaments with some priests, but I don't want to speak ill of the clergy. But I'll just say like I had to wait a long time to get through some of those holes.
There's a lot of divine intervention on those holes.
Yeah, without a lot of prayer somehow. But the rescue bottle is like one thing, but when I'm explaining the scene to people who don't I know you get what I'm talking about, but I'm like, no, somebody showed up with like a van and like opens like the door, like a big, like a, not like a minivan, but like a big van.
Like a safari van, yeah.
Yeah, and they open the doors in the back, like there's, the 2 doors, and they pull it out, and there's like a bunch of bottles, like a Costco-sized cooler full of beer. I'm like, what the hell is going on out here?
Well, that's what Stevie Ruzich does when we play the golf tournaments out there, because I think he lives on Briar.
Yeah, but golf is different because like I feel like that's more cultural with golf.
Yeah, but I mean, his backyard is on one of the holes, and he puts out a full bar.
That is beautiful, but it's just like I guess like if you're golfing somewhere and you don't know what's going on, you probably wouldn't question it. You'd be like, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, and then there's a tumbler at the turn.
Halfway house. It just has a tumbler.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is like if I die and go to heaven. This is what's gonna be every day. Is us? We're gonna be playing golf on that golf course.
We're gonna listen to Dave's he's up there playing already.
Oh my god. And then we're like driving back, listening to Serbian music on AM radio. It's like
Now
crackling.
turning into Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh my God. Now I'm George Bose.
Yeah. Man,
Man,
we're turning our toughest quick.
it's bad. The problem is though, is like you get older and there's all this shit that you're into, and then you get old and you like realize like, that's so like I guess this reels into my podcast. So my big thing with like 3:30 Club, the name comes from my dad. And that's because that's the time he opened our bar every day at 3:30. Like 3:30, you're having a shot and a beer. Like that's okay if you're not at work,
Social hour time.
Yeah, and my dad,
Starts now.
he's a funeral director. He wasn't. I mean, not that he didn't work later and there's wakes and stuff, but like whatever. So but I said, I want people to start using their time to do things they love more than using it to do things they don't like. And it's not always like entrepreneurs and stuff like that. Shit's awesome, but to me, it's like us sitting down and talking about this stuff to me is the most fun thing because we're obviously sharing memories, but then it's like we really are turning into them. But I'm not mad about it.
No, definitely, man. No, I mean, that's a good perspective to have. Is not, you don't want to, you don't want to keep looking at the clock like you're late for something every day.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think it's good to have that like kind of like the release valve because like you said, like everyone's going 1,000 miles an hour nowadays, and it seems to be getting faster and faster. And yeah. I agree. Just having some time just to kind of unwind and just get into stuff.
Well, that's why like I really appreciate, even though I wish I was doing this in person, I'll get there eventually, but especially because like you're long distance, Mirce's long distance. So it's awesome for me to sit down because we don't do this. Like we text or we Snapchat and stuff. And I talk to everybody weekly or a couple times every week or whatever it is. But this is the best because you get to sit there and have those conversations, those moments. I probably haven't laughed as hard as I did tonight all week because who else can I have that talk with?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, that's like the camaraderie and stuff too. You miss it because like you get older, everyone's more involved with their own lives, and your priorities shift, and you start to lose out on a lot of this. And that's what like even with like sports and everything, that's what I miss the most is just hanging out.
Oh yeah,
hanging out after practice or like on the bus to games, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm friends with guys from sports who like none of us play besides golf maybe. Like we don't play any sports anymore, but that's the best times.
Yeah.
Oh, well, although I will say though the golf, as much as I love it, I'm not good, so I get pretty pissed off sometimes out there.
Yeah, man. You like a long time ago, somebody, I can't remember who it was. I'm sure I was told it multiple times, but you're not good enough to get mad at yourself.
No, I agree with that. The better,
it's just like
the better way for me to say it's like buying a scratch off lottery ticket. I'm like, there might be a chance I'm gonna win, but I'm probably wasting my money.
The odds are that low.
Yeah, that's like me. And then I hit the back nine, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with this decision.
Yeah,
I still. I'm doing okay. And I love being outside in the like nice weather out on a golf course. It reminds me of growing up being out there with my dad, though, whatever it was. And like, you're kind of away from like, yeah, you have your phone if you need it, but like you're away from technology and like TV and just bullshit.
Yeah, getting some exercise, being in nature.
I mean,
can't beat it, man.
I mean, I'm probably putting the calories back in.
Yeah, but you're outside, you're in nature.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, you have a bathroom everywhere you go.
Yeah, we're fine.
Oh my God.
Play with our dad every other hole.
Oh my God. My favorite thing is when you guys are playing, especially if Mirce and my Kum are playing, my Kum Radar is out there and I'm like, what shorts is he wearing today? Has he got the pink on, the magenta, He's a riot.
He's always the most fashionable man in the game.
I love it. He was going through my bag when he was here in the fall, and he's like, "You better still have that driver I gave you." And I'm like, "It's in my bag, but you gave me a driver with a senior flex." I'm like, "Cool. I'm only 32. I haven't lost all of my muscle mass yet."
Out there swinging a pool noodle.
I know. It's like I was just laughing because I'm like, I mean, their garage is like a golf warehouse.
If you're left-handed,
correct. But he was like, here, check this out. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. But I'm like, I'm not that old.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not
That,
hitting like the
that's
stiffest one, but
yeah.
geez.
I'm trying to get my dad to get senior flex shafts.
Not into it.
I think this summer he's gonna have to come around because we played a lot of golf last summer. We played in Aliquippa Serve Club has a 9-hole league on Mondays,
Oh, okay, that's cool.
and we played in that.
Just tell him like, here early, happy early Father's Day. Like, it's time. Sorry,
Take him
Chica Johnny, but you know.
take him the golf galaxy. Like your old man, swing that.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, you got to keep the old one on the 9-iron though.
Oh, it'll always be 9-iron.
You should really have him put a different colored grip on that club, like a
That's a good
signature
idea.
move.
Yeah.
I have a
Sure.
I have like a red grip on the driver right now. For shits and giggles because I was messing around trying different grips. Because I'm always like, oh, that's gonna help me, and it's like, no, it doesn't. But it's so funny if I was like talking to my dad, and if I said like, oh yeah, and I bring your dad up, he's like, who, and I'm like, 9-iron. He goes, oh,
Yeah,
like what the fuck's
of
wrong
course.
with you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, well, there's a lot. That's a whole other episode. That's why we need to have the live cast.
That's like a deep
And
dive.
oh man, that would be studied. That would be studied for
It'll
centuries
be like
ago.
an 8-hour true crime YouTube documentary.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Oh,
might have to rebrand the whole podcast after that one.
Christ. Um. Okay, so I know I don't want to go too long, but I want to
No,
ask
I'm good, man.
a couple.
Well,
Like we'll keep going, but just so I hit some points before we rattle off into too much other crazy shit. What's going on with you in soccer?
I'm on a little bit of a coaching hiatus,
Okay.
unfortunately. Yeah. Because see, it's not 2 years ago I started coaching the U18 team again. That was a lot of fun getting back into it, and just local things happen around here, and kind of like disbanded. But
Okay. I was
yeah,
just
it's just
wondering because you and your brother are so well-minded when it comes to the game. You know what I mean?
oh man, I still pay attention to it. I watch it every week and everything like that. It's just I'm not involved in coaching and stuff as much as I would like to be anymore. So
Say
I did that for like 9 years, and
say
then
a
I took
long
a break
time,
and
right?
did more. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I liked it a lot.
Maybe the
Learned a
Riverhounds
lot.
need a coach.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but I just because one of the guys that I used to coach, he was my assistant coach's last team, and we were both in it for as long as the kids would keep showing up. But the problem was the kids didn't show up. It's just
Yeah.
it's just because like I played on that team that I coached. It's a club team, and when I played, there was 6 or 7 high schools from the area represented on it.
Oh
And when
wow.
the last time I coached it 2 years ago, it was only Weir High School, my alma mater, and there was like 17 kids we had, and all of them were players on the team.
That's
So it
pretty
just like
cool.
it was cool, but
But
there
they're
was
not
no.
showing up.
I mean, there was a lot of things going on.
I just mean it's cool that they had that many schools represented.
Oh, that part was
That
awesome.
you
I thought
probably
it was
had like
cool that they're all from the same school, but
no,
no, yeah, it was awesome.
I
Yeah,
just
I
mean
mean,
like you
there's
probably had
still
a good
guys.
squad if they're all there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when I was playing, there's still guys that I talk to all the time that we played. We kept in touch all these. I mean, shit, it's been 20 years, and
Wow.
it's just it's I like. I'm glad that I had that experience, and I wanted the other kids around here to have that same experience because it's like we were just talking about a minute ago, like the camaraderie and everything. Like you develop that. You don't develop that by playing games. You develop that off the field. You develop that in
Yeah,
practice. You like on the way to games and stuff. And I think that's so important to build your character.
for sure. I mean that's most of us are never going to be in the pros. I mean,
No, and not even like semi-pros, but even just a whole participation, trying to achieve something as a team as opposed to just individually.
yeah.
I think teaches you a lot of lessons in there about who you are as a person. It can help show others who you are too. And like there's a lot of kids that they come in as freshmen, they're shy, of course. That's very intimidating. But once they get to juniors and seniors, they're stars of the team. They're fully out there, just you know
Oh yeah.
talking to kids like their coaches, and that's what the development you like to see. And it's a shame that a lot of like my brother coaches track and football, and it's kind of the same thing. Like there's kids that are great that want to be there, they want to learn, they want to give you their all. There's other kids who they don't give a shit. They're
Yeah.
just there because their parents are like, hey, you're playing football this year, you're running track this year.
Yeah, it's a shame. And the thing, like, I wanted to coach hoops, and the problem for me is I don't know that kids will, obviously you want to get the correct age group for what you want to do, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that kids want to learn fundamental basketball anymore because if you look at the game now on TV, it's trash, it's positionless, and that's
Mm-hmm.
fine with, people are into that, but I'm like, hey, like, if you're going to play at this level, like, if you can learn to do these things the right way with your teammates, you're going to have success and you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's like every sport, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think
Yeah,
that a
without a
lot of
doubt.
kids are into that now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I've coached U10 to U18 to U19, U18 girls. And it's just, you like we're saying, you get a variety of kids that want to give you their all every single time. But it seems like 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds, they're willing to do way more because they don't have those outside factors. They're not like the peer pressure isn't there. They're not trying to sit
Yeah.
in on stuff. And
Not
so,
preoccupied.
yeah, exactly. And my suggestion to you would be if you do want to get in, like start like at like the local Y or something like a little rec league team.
Oh,
Take a
yeah.
couple of the coaching courses just to kind of get a feel for it. And once you kind of find like an angle that you want to attack, like learn more about that and try to like develop your style of coaching towards what you want your end goal to be.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, though, no matter what sport it is like you want to teach what you learned. You're passing on that knowledge and that experience because you already went through all of that as a player and
Yeah.
even as a coach. But you also want those kids to like leave there and go, wow, I really appreciate that,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, Weirden's a small town, so I run into people that I've coached all the time, and it's always rewarding for me just to, just to see a kid that's not a total fuck up, and
Uh,
that, and they go, hey, Coach Mel, what's up? And then it kind of makes me feel like I didn't, I did something right.
Unfortunately, I might end up more like Jack Black in School of Rock.
Hey, all right,
Whatever
so long
works.
way to the top if you want to rock.
It sure fucking is. Oh my god. No, I just wanted to touch on that because I watch a lot of the game, but I know you were much more involved.
Yeah, I still, like I said, I still pay attention to everything. I watch Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, Champions League
Shit,
and
it's on. I know. Like
everything, and I watch replay because I just, I love the game.
the
Like I
fucking.
watch replays of games that end 0-0 that I know what happened.
If
So
you ever come
I
crash down here, you'll be with my brother watching Bundesliga's Vi or whatever the fuck he's
uh-huh,
gambling on.
yep. Hmm.
That's so
Hey, you
funny.
gotta you gotta get in where you're fitted, man.
Dude, he was so mad when Marmouche got sold. He's like, that was my golden goose. He
Yeah,
had, he had a hat trick in the first half the other day, though.
I know. It's miraculously Georgie became a City fan.
I know. I thought that was weird when he told me that. I
I
was,
don't think it's
I
weird.
was like, hey, when did this happen? I was like, was that after
Uh,
like the 3 league championships or?
yeah, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that I've supported Manchester United since they signed Tim Howard back in the day.
Maybe
But
Georgie's just really into this Oasis reunion. I don't know.
he just wants to get the Saudi money.
Oh God. Hey, I mean, you can get into the LIV stuff and
Yeah.
you're good to go. That Saudi money's crazy. Like they're paying golf, soccer, pro wrestling goes over there and they do like like
Mhm.
like more than they do in the US. And it's not even
That's it.
it's
You guys are always real big into pro wrestling. That's one thing that Georgia never really got into.
well it's hard to be disappointed when it's fake.
That's true. I
Like
mean,
so,
yeah, I don't hate it. I don't like talk shit like, oh, it's fake. Of course it's scripted, but it's entertaining.
that's
Like
the
I get
thing is
why.
like
Yeah.
I've spent so much of my life being heartbroken over the teams I love, which I'm starting to think is fake too. But like being a Steeler fan, I don't know how your brother loves the Steelers so much and you didn't become a fan.
I I like the Steelers because my dad that liked the Steelers, but I was never like a fan of them. I was always a Manning fan and a Colts fan,
Well, and you
and
like
then
Pat too.
well, yeah, but that's for all other reasons. But yeah, Manning was my guy, and then when he got traded to the Broncos, I was like, I look terrible in orange. I'm not supporting that.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, did you ever see McAfee play soccer?
No, but my best friend from college, actually the first kid I met from college, he was on the high school soccer team at Plum with him.
The reason I ask, this is
Shout out Bowser. What's up, boy?
this is such a weird universe. So like my uncle, that's my mom's brother, Stanko. My dad, he's from here. He doesn't like any Pittsburgh teams, but my dad made him a Pitt fan, and then his cum is Jim Klippa. And so he's at Plum, and so they go to Pitt games, and then I'm sitting there like, Pat McAfee's from there, but went to WVU, but then he lives in Indiana, and I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? Like, you see it's like me, Steve, and Mirsha went to that Steelers game in Indy last fall. And they're showing Pat McAfee's on the screen in his box with Tone Diggs and all his guys, and then they flew in Big Ben. And the people are like, it's half Steeler fans, and people are losing their fucking minds. And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of McAfee's. I watch this show like every day. It gets me through work.
Me too, but like it's so bizarre because I have people I know who've never even been close to Pittsburgh or West Virginia or whatever. And they're coming up to me being like, hey, Yin's going downtown. And I'm like, how do you know how to say that?
Hammer down.
Yeah, my dad's watching it. He's like, I feel like I'm listening to Peter John talk.
Yeah, that's not Peter John.
And I was like, I was laughing, so I was like, oh, the 4 foot level. Down there in Portersville.
Yeah, because he brought a lot of attention to WU too. Like, he talks about the play that he played and where he's from, and I think a lot of people resonate with that.
Oh yeah, it's cool. I mean, for me, and don't get me wrong, I know there's a big rivalry, but like I was wanted to go to Pitt. My dad, obviously, it's around the time he got sick when I was applying to schools. But it's funny because then my cum went to Penn State. Your WVU guys, it's like there's all these.
My mom went to Pitt.
No, I know that. We've had that
talk.
My mom
went to Pitt. My mom went to Pitt. My dad went to WU.
So it's like funny that there's all these rivalries, but at the end of the day, I'm like, we're all just a bunch of weirdos from this like portal of the universe. Like when you really think of it, like I'm watching the backyard brawl, and then you have these teams playing in the playoff, like where we're all sitting at home, nobody's even in a shitty bowl game.
No,
and you're like, we're throwing rocks at each other over this.
Dude, I was at the Pitt WU game last year. 2 years ago.
Yeah,
when you got in Morgantown, and I've been to a lot of WU games, and that was the loudest that I've heard that stadium. Well, besides the LSU game back in the day, that was the loudest that I heard.
I bet.
And dude, the eat shit pit, like I have a video on my phone. I'll send it to you later. They started playing Sweet Caroline.
Oh, just
in
so
Morgantown, and we were shocked. It was absolutely insane. It was the loudest I've ever heard it.
Yeah, see, that's the one thing. Pitt's not really, because they're in Oakland, but like they play in Hines. They're not like a college town.
Yeah.
So unless it's WVU or some other big
Brawl's their Super Bowl. It's their national championship. They have nothing else to live for.
It's just like, I was talking with Grubbs about how like unless you're one of these big schools, the NIL and the portal, it's killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get why kids are taking that money, don't get me wrong, but like what are any of these other schools ever going to win? It's going to be the Ohio States and the Michigans and the Notre Dames and the Georgias and Alabamas of the world, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I sit here and I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, I want them to do good, and I get all that, but it's at the end of the day when the season's done, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, they need to establish some kind of guardrails for that. Because, I mean, I know like initially it was a good thought to have, these players can't, they can't have a job. They're going to school and going to practice and all that stuff, so they can't have a job. How are they going to pay for housing?
Sell drugs. No, I'm kidding. Oh. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to censor that.
I wasn't going to go there. Dropping it easy. And, yeah, but, like, I get the idea behind it, but then you start getting these alumni associations that are paying single players millions and millions of dollars. So it's just like, where's the loyalty? Because that's why I always like college football way better than pro, because people actually played for their school.
Yeah, and
now there's no allegiance.
I guess that's the one thing I like about the Steelers.
There is, but you know what I mean.
The Steelers are sort of like this, like a college, how they always bring the old guys back.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the same exact way, but like there's that vibe.
Yeah, how's that working out for you guys?
No, I just meant like once they're retired.
I know.
Yeah. No, they stink. They have all kind of problems. But I just meant like that's probably I also think that that's why people don't care as much about Pitt football. It's
Oh,
just
for sure.
that's just 'cause they have the
Yeah.
Steelers, and the Steelers used to be, really good.
Hmm.
Not so much the case anymore, but what the hell are you gonna do? I mean, you grow up and you become old like us. Not old, but you're not a kid anymore. You realize it's a business,
Yeah. Hmm.
That's why,
Big
like
time.
like you said, anything that's entertaining, it's like wrestling, comedy, like you said, you go to stand up.
Yeah.
I go see a lot of music. Obviously, I'm involved in that in a different way. So I have like the meme of the guy who's in full football gear, but he's in like the second deck watching the game. That's me, like at any concert I'm at.
Right.
I'm like judging and like being like an
Yeah.
old man.
Hmm.
But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, no, those are all really good points. I just wanted to ask about that because it's again going back to Pat McAfee. It's such a bizarre, like for me, because I'm out here. There's no like reference to like Pittsburghese and all this shit,
Hmm.
and they're singing the Steelers Super Bowl song, and he's making up lyrics about Russell Wilson and Southside and all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I mean, I love it, but I'm just
Yeah.
so shocked.
I mean, people. I mean, I think it's because it's like it's genuine.
Oh
It's
yeah.
he's not trying to like force everything in the conversation. It's just the way they talk, and they don't. They don't like corporatize a lot of stuff, which I think is the problem.
Yeah, those are my favorite types of podcasts. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
his isn't really a podcast anymore, but it was.
Mhm.
You remember they had I had the shirt on. They had the Steve Austin and the
Oh yeah, back when it was like Heartland Radio.
dude. Oh yeah, he comes out. He does the wrestling like commentary,
Yeah,
and when he,
I think clips. That's the only avenue into wrestling that I have
but
is
he's the
just through
best.
like clips and stuff.
He's the funniest because he like is so out of pocket and unscripted on the microphone, and then like when they introduce him, like you'll be standing in line, getting a drink or whatever, and you hear Pat McAfee's show song come on. He comes out before they're on TV, and people are losing it. I'm like, this guy's a bigger star than anybody. Good for him, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
You know,
Pittsburgh kid done good.
it's so funny, man. I don't know if there's much more you want to touch on.
We could say that for part two. I just heard in my earphones battery low.
Oh, okay, perfect. I could go all night, but I know you and I
Yeah,
will.
man.
We'll do like the 3 hour one soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully in person. I'm thinking maybe May.
Sure.
I'll text you about it. But this was a really fun one for me just to shoot the shit. I hope
Yeah,
I
man.
wasn't being too loud and talking over you and being a fucking indoor smoking Serb.
No, you've embraced that. That's who you are. You're an indoor smoking Serb.
Oh my God. But this was wonderful. I really
Heck yeah,
appreciate
man. This was a
you.
blast.
Let's do this again soon. Obviously, we're gonna do it with your brother and Mirche and my brother.
Yeah.
We'll get the group roundtable pod. Maybe we'll do the SNF one.
Let's not reveal all the secrets just yet.
Yeah. Well, if anybody made it this far, thank you.
Yeah, for real.
But we will. I'll talk to you. And this was a blast. I look forward to doing it again, man.
Yeah, man. Loved it.
All
Love
right.
you too.
Love you.
See you, brother.